And put this right underneath the camera. That should be helpful to keep your eyes up because you kept letting your eyes go down. Okay. So that last one was, wow, that was almost 20 minutes long. All right. We already did, all right. We already did, huh? What? I know. Okay. So the next one is 5 tips to succeed at karate. What are we thinking?
Deodorant?
No.
Okay.
Practice.
Oh, so for the student, yes.
Yes.
All right, I'm a little tired. Give me a little moment here.
All right.
I'm meditating. So my shoulder was down. I don't know why. I was trying to fix it.
Okay.
Consistency.
What is consistency?
Coming to the dojo.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Questions? What else? Asking. Was there anything else? I mean, that's really good right there.
Yeah.
We can also research.
Yeah, research the tree.
Yeah, research on your own. That's fine. I think those 4 are fine.
Okay.
Also, come early, stay late. Right? Come early, help, stay late. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It is Pete and Jen here again to talk to you about...
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Pete.
Okay.
So here to talk to you about different things that you can do or the tips that we can give you to be successful at karate. So this video is directed to the newer karate student or the newer karate parent or martial art parent. And actually, these tips that we're going to give you pretty much can be translated into any martial art that you would participate in. So if you're a parent looking to help your child be successful, or if you're a new student yourself, all of these tips are going to apply to you. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go in reverse. Let's go from 5 to 1 because 1's the most important.
Yes, ma'am.
Think so?
I'm following your lead.
All right. It's about time. So tip 5, come early, help, stay late, and help. So back in the day when I got started in martial arts.
Way back then.
So says the guy who's a full 10 years older than me. All right. So back in the day when I got started in martial arts, I have said this before, it was expected that the newer students would help keep the place clean. Mm-hmm. That's just a sign of respect. And in Chinese terms, we called it wuda, ethics. And it was something that you would do as a student to show your intention to your teacher, that you were taking this seriously, that you respected the space, that you respected your teacher. Now, depending on the culture of your school, you may be able to help out with like sweeping the floors or cleaning mats or just general straightening up. But that stuff goes noticed.
Yes.
That stuff definitely goes noticed.
What I noticed too with my kids, when we do a cleanup, they love to clean up. Yes, they love cleaning. You give them a rag, tell them to dust over there. They love cleaning together. They love spraying the mirrors, cleaning. So it's actually, and it brings them together even closer as a group.
You'd be surprised, like a little simple green cleaner in some water, and the kids really do. It is a bonding time with them, and we've even had dojo painting days.
Yes,
and
they love using the vacuum cleaner. It's like a Ghostbuster vacuum cleaner. It straps to your back with the handle. It works.
Okay. Anyway, so yes. Number 5 on our list of things that are really, really important for your student or for you to be successful at martial arts is show up early, see if you can help out, stay a little later, and also see if you can help out.
Also, I like my students to get there early because I have two rooms. The front room is so you can stretch up and warm up and stretch before you come on the floor. So we can actually get right to it instead of spending 20 minutes on a warm up and a stretch. I'd rather you stretch before you came on the floor. This way you can jump right into it.
Okay, great.
Okay?
Number 4. This arguably could have been lower than number 5, but I still think it's really important.
Stick to the script.
I'm sticking to the script. Number 4 is do research on your own.
Yes.
So this is really important. When you get involved in martial arts, every single martial art has its own history.
Yes.
It has its own origin. Most of them all started in India and kind of migrated their way over across China, up Okinawa and through Japan. All of that is really, really interesting. And it's wonderful to take the time and find out about the rich history of the martial art that you are studying. There's going to be a primogenitor. There's going to be like a main person. Like, who's the person?
Chogun Miyagi.
Chogun Miyagi for Goju-Ryu. Like, there's going to be main people.
And don't forget his instructor.
Who is?
I'm not telling you.
It's super secret?
Super secret.
Okay. So all of these things, it's a really, really wonderful thing to get bit by the bug and start doing research. I think Robert Smith and Wilson was the creators. The history of the martial arts was actually really, or Encyclopedia of the Martial Arts. Right. It's one of my favorites.
And excuse me?
Yeah.
What's great about today, when I started way back, which was before cable, when they had typewriters,
they didn't have
there were no internet, so everything we had to research everything by books, and trying to find books on martial arts really difficult. There wasn't a lot written back then.
No, I still have
the history of it because I used to ask for it.
I still have.
Go ahead, you jump in.
I still have VHSs downstairs of like some of the Shaolin forms. Yeah, so it's a wonderful thing. We're in the information age. Do your research.
Yeah, push a button, you're there.
So if you're a new student or a child or a teenager or an adult and you're learning a form, go to YouTube. Look it up on YouTube. Now realize that your instructor might expect to see it differently than how you're seeing it. Every school has its own cadence and its own pacing for forms, but it's really interesting to go see how others are doing this, and it just helps build your understanding. So get curious, do your own research about your style, the history of your style, the people that started your style, and then see if there's any tournament footage that you can see, because some of the stuff is just really inspiring and impressive.
I think also what you want to do, what helps you with this is you want to be creative. And you want to evolve. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really don't think if Chogun Miyagi came down today and we were doing the exact same katas, the exact same book guides, the exact same techniques, I think he'd be disappointed. He evolved from his instructor. His instructor evolved from his instructor. And that's where the art was, developed. So I think it's important for you when you research, you can actually start with your own style or what you think, your own philosophy. So I think it's really important that you research and see why these guys started the art, where it came from, and what material they used, and why they decided to call it, Goju-Ryu, which is hard and soft. Because there's history behind it, by the way. You should look that up.
Okay. And also, Peter kind of inspired me to remind myself to talk to you about family trees. This is also really, really important. In the world of martial arts, everybody belongs to a family tree. So if you're a Goju school, then you clearly are somehow affiliated or in a lineage with Chogun Miyagi. So in the martial arts world, it's like in the martial arts world, when you meet another martial artist, well, who's your teacher? Who's your teacher's teacher? Right. It's a very common thing. It's like trying to find that person's lineage. So it's really useful if you're taking martial arts seriously to understand your lineage and where it came from, mm-hmm. and how far up the chain removed are you from the main person who started that style. All right. Number 3, very important. Ask questions.
Yes, about karate.
Yes. Well, when you have the
know.
little when you have the little munchkins that are like, this weekend we went to.
Yeah, right.
No, really.
Any questions here? Where'd you get your hair cut? Okay.
It's really important. And teachers really like questions for the most part. Teachers really want to know that you're thinking about the art, that you have questions about a technique. If you're wondering if the same technique can be applied to this particular type of block or movement, ask the question. Almost all teachers that I've seen at the end of a class will say, any questions?
Any questions?
Take the time, ask questions.
And speaking to that, don't overdo it. I think my instructor stopped asking that because I was always asking questions. And he goes, anybody else? And another one, and then another one, and then another one. He was walking out of there one night, and I was following him. It's like, listen, enough. Anyway.
So you don't want that.
Well, don't overdo it.
Don't overdo it. Ask questions. I would fault on the side of asking questions.
Okay, listen to Jen.
Yes, I'm right. Consistency. Talk about consistency because this is important.
Consistency.
Seriously.
You want to be there. You want to be consistent when you're coming to class. If you're coming Tuesday and Thursday, you want to make sure you're there every Tuesday and Thursday. If you're not, try to get there a different day. If you can get an extra day in, come in. It's important that you go there and train so your instructor can see you. He can actually correct you. It's better to be there all the time. You get the training in because on your own, you're probably not going to do it as much. If you're in the dojo, you're there to train. So it's important that you be in the dojo training.
It's really true. Being consistent with the days, you kind of build a camaraderie with the people that are there the same days that you are. Also, when we're talking about, like we just recently did a video on testing, if you are not consistently going, you've got no business testing.
Because I have kids there like coming 2 times in a month, and they ask how come they're not testing when the other kids are there 6 to 8.
Yeah.
So it's important.
Work ethic definitely gets recognized, and consistency is extremely important because there's so much more to martial arts than just the moves, especially with karate. It's not just about the physical skill. There's a mental discipline. There's a self-discipline that also happens. There's a cultivating of character that also happens.
And also helping out the students below you. That's very important. That's why you want to be consistent.
It's service.
Because it's interesting because like some students can really help out another student where I can't. Mm-hmm. They're just, for some reason, they connect better. The person listens to them better. They're younger, so maybe they're cooler. They're looking up to them. I'm like Yoda. Okay, maybe not.
No, definitely not Yoda. But consistency is really important. And parents, this is really important too. Let's talk about the thing that happens a lot during the summer. Summer months for martial arts schools, everybody goes on vacation, which is very normal, but you'll have some students who want to stop for the summer. And when they come back in September and they see that the kids that they have been training with have far advanced beyond them, it could really, really be demoralizing, and it could make a child want to quit. Hopefully they don't quit. Hopefully they persevere. But consistency, even over vacations, wherever possible, it's all about momentum and keeping that going. And once you start missing, it gets easier and easier to miss. And then when you show back up, and not only is it easier to miss, but now everybody seems so much better and you feel like you're awkward and you're not moving well.
Right.
It's all very discouraging. Yeah,
I found for myself too, the kids that stay with me during the summer, they have an easier transition going back to school. Yeah. Because they're already in a routine.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I can see the difference in them.
Keeping a schedule is so important. He knows that I need a schedule. I flounder without a schedule. And I think, don't laugh.
Flounder.
I do. So it's really important for our students and for our kids too. Huh?
The guy from Animal House. Flounder. Anyway.
All right. And
I'm going to take that out. The snort. Go.
No, we're taking that. We're not taking out the snort and keeping flounder.
All right, keep going. Come on.
All right. And number 1 on our top things for being successful in your martial arts endeavors, whether you're a parent trying to help your kid or you're going yourself, is practicing.
Practice.
Don't just rely on the class time to help you advance.
Yeah, practice is very important, and it's you know, you don't have to overdo it. You don't have to set yourself a timer for a half hour, 10 minutes. Even, you know, I tell the kids, anything I taught you today, before you go to bed, do it. When you get up tomorrow morning, do it just once, because it'll register over and over again. So when you go, you know, when I teach you a certain technique before you go to bed, just do it once, so you don't forget it, and then in the morning you do it again. Then you have it with you all day because you start thinking about it.
Yes.
So I think it's important. And of course, if you want to do it during the day again, like I'll be in the shopping center. What am I looking at? The grocery store, and I'll be working my stances there, waiting because it's time. You know, I have nothing else. You know, I got to wait online, so I'll be doing my stances there, trying to root, trying to bring the elbow down a little bit more to this side with the packages. Anyway, so you can practice anywhere. That's a good thing about martial arts. You know, you have to start throwing punches in the air, right? But you can actually work your stances, work your body mechanics. Okay, I'm done.
You can even practice when your wife is in labor.
And I did.
I have pictures. He was practicing Bagua, which is a Chinese martial art, doing Bagua walking while I was in labor, waiting for my C-section.
Yes.
I have pictures. I might even try and find those pictures just
You
for
need
this.
not.
Yes, I think it's a good idea.
It's a good posture.
All right. So practicing, though, is really important. And like Peter said, it doesn't have to be a ton of practice. Probably the best advice that Peter gave you was simply, as soon as you get home, run through whatever you got, even if it's only for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Because if you do that, it's going to solidify. Do it again the next morning. It doesn't have to be a ton of time for it to be impactful. Here's a pro tip. If you're an adult, maybe kids would even do this too. When I was really deep into learning a very complex form, I would go to bed and think about myself doing the form. I would see myself doing that form in like while I was trying to like gear it up for just going to sleep. Mm-hmm. I was doing a Dao form or a weapons form. I would just go over it again and again in my head, going over those patterns. So practice. I had a teacher that used to say, like, you can see the difference from a student who is just coming to classes and a student who is going home, practicing and coming to class. They are ready for new material. They are ready to advance. But the student who's just simply coming to classes is going to move painfully slow. And their understanding is going to be very limited because you have to spend time in the movement to understand it.
Yeah, one of the most important things, too, about the kids that I train. Thank you. About the kids that I train, you have to do knuckle push-ups, and a lot of them can't do push-ups. A lot of them come in there, which is pretty sad considering that they take gym class, and I ask them what they do there, and they say they play games, which is, to me, they should know how to do push-ups, sit-ups, and we used to have to climb a rope. But anyway, I tell them always do one push-up every morning for a week. Next week, try to do 2. Third week, try to do 3. Fourth week, and and if you get to like 6 and you can't do 6, go back to 5, do that for a week, then try 6 again. So it's those small little goals that you want instead of telling yourself, I can't do push-ups. Just do 1.
I can tell him as an educator that physical educators or PE teachers absolutely do cover doing push-ups. Just because kids are not able to do it doesn't mean it's not happening. I'm a teacher, have been for 26 years.
Yes, maybe they're supposed to be teaching them.
All right, we have to cut this whole thing out because you can't be derogatory.
Okay.
All right, so why don't you do the tip about the push-ups again?
We just cut the last part out, no?
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah. Okay. All right, so you have 5 tips to help ensure your success in any martial art that you're going to go for, but especially in a karate school. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We hope that you found this useful. If you did, Please help support our work by clicking subscribe and liking the video, and we will see you in the next
Right.
one.
And also, if you have any tips of your own, let us know.
Oh, yeah. Throw them in the comments, please.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have any questions, please put it in the comments as well. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day or night.
Night.
Night. It's night.